the last intro as a joke, but apparently, God MPreg is real! Welcome back to Act 2 of To Eat a God. Today we're going down Unum's route, where we raise kids and fail at cooking. You can't just magic hands baby food, Unum! This is a much more chill route than the others, and it's full of good feels, so I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, here are your content warnings. Now please enjoy yourselves. The increase in temperature is what wakes you up. You feel a thick drop of sweat running down your forehead. But you want to go back to sleep again. You're very tired. You should be grateful that this thing's biology and mine are very similar. Have you done this before? Of course. Can't be everywhere at once. There's always a chance that one of my children might eat a fruit that wasn't sanctified. You open your eyes to see what's happening, but the light is too bright. Oh, Kinky! It's working! Unum says it as if he can't believe it. Kinky clicks his tongue, exasperated. Hey, don't shout! We still need to extract the main rows! A strange sensation forms on the skin covering your abdomen. Something is pushing its way up from your stomach with urgency. It doesn't hurt, but it feels uncomfortable. Spit it out here! Your vision is filled by a hand waiting with an open palm for something. And that something doesn't take long to arrive as you throw up a perfectly intact rose from your mouth. What was that doing in my mouth? It's disgusting, but judging by Kinky's face, he doesn't think the same. In fact, he looks completely indifferent, as if he doesn't care about holding a rose covered in saliva and gastric juices. As if he had done this countless times before. It's exactly the same. I really don't understand the difference between mine and Sextum's. Their biology is very similar. Yours don't think, Unum replies playfully. You're the one who doesn't think. Kinky quickly stands up and grabs Unum by his clothes. The redhead just laughs, downplaying Kinky's anger. If I hear you say that one more time, I swear I'll break that hybrid you're hiding. His smile vanishes completely as he looks down at Kinky, utterly serious. Huh? And how do you know about them? I can hear another heartbeat besides this humans. Unum remains still, staring intently at Kinky. Whether due to the difficulty of holding his gaze against the sun or simple discomfort, Kinky clicks his tongue, letting go and pushing him away. I suppose Septum has already told you that I'll be the one making the change. Yeah. Then Unum smiles again. Do you want to see them? No, thanks. I'll return to my domain. If you need help in any unfamiliar situation, you can call me or Sextum. We are all aware about this. Without another word, Kinky leaves the room, and I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but I'm gonna roll with it. Unum remains thoughtful for a moment before giving you a knowing look. Now comes the hard part. Cultivating a god. You mean the soul baby? You mean the baby you wanted to make? Also, yes, we are making soul babies today. Welcome to Lion's Cooking Channel. Today we are going to be cooking up a baby. Oh man, what? We have to cultivate a god until it's completely ready. But I'm going to need your help. I still don't understand how organic life goes through changes that allow it to grow and improve. I've never seen it for myself. So I suppose you know a little more about this. You'll do whatever it takes to save your skin. And if that means playing happy family with the sun god, you'll do it without hesitation. Yeah, you can count on me. I mean, oh my god. Wait, who's gonna be pregnant here, me or Unum? I don't know. I hope it's Unum. Can we get Unum MPreg? Is that something that's gonna happen? Is Unum MPreg the answer to all this world's problems? Do we just need to get him pregnant? Unum smiles without showing his teeth. His expression is tender, nothing like the looks he used to give you. The day passes quickly, and incredibly, you find yourself accompanied by Unum and his wives. Even though the heat is becoming increasingly hard to bear, it's nothing that can truly hurt you. A little heat doesn't kill anyone, right? You look around and see 3 pairs of eyes fixed on you. Eliana, Ignis, and Solaris. Even though they stare at you as if they wanted to devour you, they remain quite respectful and calm. Unlike Unum! Unum asks his wives to show him how to purify food because, according to him, both you and the baby should eat without worrying about poisoning from Tria. You have to bring your hands together around the food and you must sing to the essence of Tria. Without further explanation, Ignis starts singing in a language you do not understand. Both you and Unum stare in amazement as the fruit begins to glow. Then you witness a seal shattering in mid-air. When Tria's seal is broken, the fruit can be consumed. Maybe the little god doesn't face as mortal a risk as Lion when eating unsanctified fruits, but the risk is always there. Maybe it's like us. Oh, don't assume without knowing, dears. Today you will cook, but starting tomorrow, you'll do it. You'll cook for everyone. For a moment, you think she's talking to you, but then you realize that Eliana's eyes are fixed on Unum. Oh no, Unum's gonna make baby food! So pay attention. After an intense cooking class where you have to constantly redirect Unum's attention to the explanation, everyone gathers around the table to eat. Then you all begin to eat. The atmosphere is homely, even more so than your mind could imagine, and that scares you a little. Unum's wives talk a lot, too much, so much that you struggle to follow them, though Unum doesn't. He pays attention to everything they say, occasionally asking questions, but never interrupting. You're in a daze! Tomorrow, we'll go with Dwayne to check on Orion's belt. It's been a long time since you've been there. I don't like that Dwayne refers to you by your assigned names. You're no longer her property. Yes, we are. Unum, we've already talked about this. Unum lets out a sigh, clearly displeased and overwhelmed by the situation. I still don't understand how it doesn't bother you. You are free. You're no longer under anyone's command. Man, I thought I couldn't love Unum anymore, but holy hell. That only applies when Due isn't around, and we still have responsibilities. But we don't mind, Unum. Eliana takes Unum's hand tenderly, caressing the back of it with her thumb. Unum, on the other hand, swallows his words, choosing not to argue any further. By the time you're finished, Unum and you clear the dishes to wash them, while the wives say their goodbyes and wish you good night. Do they have other names? Yeah. Dwayne gives them names when creating them. Usually she just assigns them a number, but if they're brilliant and perform well, Dwayne names them with honors. What were they called? El Nita, Al Nilam, and Mintaka. They are beautiful names, but they're names that are under ownership. When they came with me, I asked them to choose their own names. I see. Your name. Was it imposed on you? The name you gave me when you were with Noah. Does that count as imposed? You change the subject to avoid answering his question, but you don't know if Unum catches the hint or not, but he plays along. Time passes as you discuss how to sanctify food, while Unum shows you what he learned with an apple. And incredibly, he manages to break the seal. With a smile revealing all his teeth, he offers it to you. Of course I'm gonna accept it! You grab the apple and take a big bite. After chewing, you smile, baring your teeth just as he does. Unum blushes and laughs heartily. Eventually you feel tired and Unum takes you to your room. Unum glances at you for a second while you're already under the sheets, then suddenly approaches. When you sleep, what does it feel like? It's a bit difficult to answer with his face so close to yours. How do you answer someone who can't or doesn't need to sleep? I'll explain it simply. You don't want to confuse him by delving into convoluted or hard-to-explain concepts, like sleep phases and why dreams exist. Maybe you can explain that another day. So you simply reply with what it feels like to sleep. While you speak, you notice Unum reclining on the bed, watching you with his eyes wide open. God, I love him. Oh God, this is why you are my wife. You are wife. You are not husband. You are wife. And you will bear the soul babies. His attention is entirely on you, catching every word you utter, just as he did when his wives were talking at the table. He looks so cute. In a moment, Unum's expression shifts to one of distress. Do you think the baby can dream? I wish they could experience that. It sounds liberating. Don't you dream? I think they'll be able to dream. Wow. Do you really believe that? You nod, and Unum pounces on you and gives you a hug and a kiss. I am so happy. It scares you a bit that he takes your words as absolute truth. Unum clears his throat, a bit embarrassed by his remark. You should rest now. See you in a few hours. Good night. He kisses you on the forehead and leaves the room. You ponder for a long time over the conversation with Unum. The names here are important, more important than you thought. If Unum's wives belong to Dway, then the symbols must also belong to someone. Could that someone be Septim? Maybe tomorrow you should ask why names are so important and why Unum doesn't feel comfortable calling his wives by their original names. Little by little, your eyes begin to close, and you sink into a deep sleep. Lion! Lion! Two hands grab you by the shoulders, urgently shaking you. I went to check on the baby and there's something off about them. You have to blink a few times to fully wake up and understand what the redhead is saying. What? You gave birth? There's something off about the baby. Without another word, Unum grabs your hands and drags you out of bed. Unum does his best to explain amid the panic and nerves what's happening with the baby. But you don't understand anything. You must need like 5 minutes of peace, please. Just 5 minutes to ponder the choices that led you here. Is it normal for it to move so much? Why is he asking you this, knowing that neither of you has any idea how a baby created from a combination of souls developed? I don't know. Hasn't Sextum explained the development process of this thing to you? This thing? It's a baby! You don't know what makes the comment funnier. Unum's face on the fact that the thing he's clearly pointing at isn't a baby. It's a weird mass. It's a transparent mass that moves as if it weren't. It's a transparent mass that moves as if it were feeling discomfort. And you don't even know if it's capable of feeling anything yet. I think it needs to stabilize. We both have to take it. You hope that Sextum told him this and that he's not just making it up. As you approach, you feel an immense burst of heat. Not as pleasant as the warmth radiating from Unum's body. No, this heat is unbearable. I'm definitely putting my hands in there. Together with Unum, you both place your hands on the mass. You feel a tingling in your fingers and arm, but it doesn't hurt or burn. So, this is like the birth of a star. You're unable to answer Unum as a flash clouds your eyes. It's so bright that you have to shut them tightly to avoid blindness. An intense heat surrounds and embraces you, as if the sun's rays were piercing your skin, softly kissing you for an extended time. Then, the glow ceases. When you open your eyes, Unum shouts, "Did it split?" Indeed, the mass is no longer one, but two. You hear the door slam open. My Lady Dway, you cannot enter this room without notifying us. I don't want you to speak, Alnitak. Eliana grimaces in pain, her lips pressed tightly shut. Unum turns to see Dway entering through the door, followed by Eliana. You don't have permission to give orders in my domain. Give her voice back right now. After this, Dway ignores the order, moving closer to you. I must assist in the birth of these binary stars. They are not yours! Septim has ordered me to assist with whatever is needed. And my assistant is needed now. You're not qualified for this. Unum doesn't have a chance to retort as Dway adds, her voice laced with venom. You're very egocentric, especially since those around you are even better than you. Stronger and larger. But not suitable for giving space to organic life. Dway pulls your hand away from the mass and asks Unum for space so that she can do her work. Reluctantly, Unum takes a few steps back with you, and when he deems the distance safe, he moves in front of you, covering your body with his own. You assume it must be for protection. Dewey places both hands on each of the masses, and with one swift pull, a glow far brighter than before emerges. Unum covers your eyes with his arm. A deathly silence follows, and the room's temperature becomes unbearable. And a baby's cry shatters the silence, followed by a much weaker one. What is this? Like a fisherman, Dewey holds two creatures by their feet. Both cry because of the position they're in. You feel yourself sweating, and your vision starts to blur. The hot air only deepens your desperation with each passing second. That's not how you hold them, you brute! Taken aback, Dewey hands the two entities to Unum, who cradles them as one would a human baby. Is this a human? No, they are hybrids. I thought a god, already ready to claim their rank, would emerge from here. Not this. That doesn't matter. You will have a god ready after a while. I suppose Septum knows you're playing at being human. Dewey watches the small entities in Unum's arms. The atmosphere is tense. They're yours. You need to give them names. Now. You can't take it any longer, and Unum seems to notice how unwell you are. With a tremor of nervousness in his voice, he asks you to leave the room for a moment. Wait, that's our baby! Don't I get to name it too? Don't I get to be part of this, this process? Unum! He gestures for you to step out into the garden for some fresh air. And you do so without a word of protest. You trudge towards the door leading to the garden and sit down on one of the nearby benches. You take a deep breath and close your eyes. Here, the air is fresh, and you don't feel your lungs burning as you breathe in. You glance at your hands. Something starts to worry you. It's not their color, since Septum also bears those marks. No, what worries you is that you've become to feel less in them. You have no sensation in your fingertips. The sensitivity in that area is almost non-existent. Although you can move your fingers, something inside tells you that sooner or later, you'll lose that ability. If you tell Unum about this, will he be able to help you? Honestly, Unum doesn't seem so frightening now, but you suspect it's because you've been with him for a while and perhaps you've grown accustomed to his odd presence and personality. He's not bad, just peculiar and a bit violent when he's hungry. Could it be viable for you to stay here? If you try to escape, will you have any other option to survive? Stay with Unum. It's the best you can do. You don't know what's beyond this garden, nor what the world or society out there is like. To top it all off, you smell like a human according to what you've seen and heard, and that's not good for you. You're an easy target. Do you already have permission to be outside? You recognize that voice. That's Septum! You lift your gaze and see Septum standing next to you, looking over your shoulder. Greet him. Good morning. Septum smiles contentedly. Answer my question. Oh, right! Unum asked me to go out for some air. The room we were in wasn't very pleasant. Too much heat. I imagine. Humans can't withstand the power of so many stars for very long, let alone newly formed stars. If he hadn't gone out, you'd probably be dead by now. You want to ask if he's come to see the hybrids, but you're afraid of how he might react. Let's go see them. Unum's hybrids? They're yours too. Yeah, I want to see them. The walk back is awkward. Septum makes no effort in engaging in conversation, and you're sure that if you speak first without his permission, he will get angry. Inside Unum's residence, you encounter his wives, who are outside the room. Noticing Septum's presence, all three lower their heads in greeting. Alnitak, has the situation stabilized? Eliana remains silent, and Septum appears to understand why, as he gestures with his hands. Her lips relax, and she replies, Lady Dewey has stabilized the new stars. It is safe now for Lion. Good. The door to the room opens by itself, and Septum makes his way through. Dewey, Unum, I remind you that it's crucial for Lion to be present at the most critical moments. I will not tolerate them being taken away from them again. Dewey stands up straight, as if a low-ranking soldier were witnessing a general's arrival. Septum, my apologies. I asked him to leave because the energy in this room is too condensed. I know, but I need Lion to observe the development of both gods. Are they stable yet? Yes. Okay, Dway, we're leaving now. Unum? Yeah? I want an audience with you tonight. Septum exits the room with Dway with a quick look in your direction. Unum doesn't move until he senses that both symbols are far away. Then he smiles. Look! He comes towards you, holding both creatures in his arms. See? I told you! Wife! He is wife and... Oh God, I'm a father. Oh God, I'm a father! They have a pulse, just like you. So their heart rate is very different from yours. They're so cute! You still can't hold them. Their bodies are still too warm. You could burn your hands. Aww. Well, you'll have to be content with just watching them closely. As you lean in, you once again notice the heat radiating from both babies' bodies. What are their names? I wanted to wait until they're old enough to choose their own names. Why? I want them to be free. Let them do as they please until... Unum cuts himself off before finishing the sentence. Then he laughs nervously. Septum says they'll grow fast. Maybe tomorrow they won't be this little. You two spend most of your time taking care of the babies. Well, you instruct Unum on how to care for them, as you still can't touch them. And you've confirmed it yourself when you tried to touch one of their cheeks. You burned your hand. Unum almost calls Kinky to come and heal you, but you've told him it's not necessary. When night falls, Unum excuses himself, saying he must do something important, and he takes both babies with him. He asks you to rest and sleep so that you'll have all the energy you need tomorrow. So you rest. You dream. For the first time in your short existence in this small world, you dream. You are in a dark place. You hear a voice, but you can't make out what it's saying. You don't know how or when, but it's already the next day. And the first thing you see when you open your eyes is your hands. The darkness has devoured more skin. And the second thing you spot is Unum, laying next to you, watching you intently. Hello there, Unum! You are an amazing creature. I never thought I could be the husband of a human. No! Take that back! You are the wife now! You are the wife! I am husband! Husband? How many steps has this man skipped? Well, about that. Since when does he think that you are in a relationship? Is it like that with all the symbols, or is it just Unum who has no idea how relationships work? You let out a laugh at how strange it is to be in this relationship. Unum looks at you, confused. Do you want to be my husband? Aren't we already? You can't help but let out a laugh from your throat. But we've even had children, and you live with me. According to what I've read, that's more than enough to call us spouses. You let out another laugh. Don't laugh! All right. I don't know how relationships work among the garden people, but we humans need time and agreements before we can earn that title. Oh, could you explain it to me? There's no book here that explains that to you. You have no trouble explaining to Unum what it takes to become your husband, although you emphasize that's different for everyone. Huh. If I try, could I be your husband? Nope. No matter how hard you try, it's too late, Unum. You are already wife. Maybe. Unum smiles. I wanted to show you the rest of my domain today, but Septum said it's dangerous for you to go out. So we'll have to stay in the temple until the stars have grown. I don't want to miss a thing. Not a single moment of their development. Are you excited? Of course! Besides, I have you by my side, which makes it even better. We're like the families that Sextum loved to watch grow. Oh, we could invite her when she finishes her prayers. Unum gets out of bed and looks at you excitedly. The girls are taking care of them while we make breakfast. Whoa, it seems that Unum is taking Aeliana's words seriously. Incredible. You walk to the kitchen, and Unum prepares the sanctification ritual before starting to prepare breakfast. You help him with some tasks, but he does most of the work, precisely replicating what the girls prepared the day before. And after a while of cooking, breakfast is ready. Puffing out his chest, Unum looks at the result with pride. But instantly he deflates like a balloon. I miss watching my wives cook. I see you did quite well. Solaris enters through the door with a half smile. It seems that now you'll be the one in charge of cooking, dear. Only if you join me. We'll think about it. Do you need help setting the table? Yes, please. It's strange. This is really strange. You never imagined that living with them would be so normal? Where did that Unum so overexcited about everything go? The one who used to try to attack you at the slightest reaction of your body. What's the catch? Could it be that they'll end up eating you? After all, they are entities that eat human flesh. Are you really playing at being a happy family? Lion? Yeah? Can human babies eat at the table? What? Honestly, I can't imagine them sitting at a table with a fork and knife in their hands. Their hands are very small, and they don't have much coordination with them. Well, they have no coordination at all. You take a deep breath before answering, and remember that Unum is an entity completely opposite to you, who only knows about humans from what he's read. And God knows what he's been reading. Has he been on AO3 yet? The days pass quickly, faster than you care to admit, with Unum and his wives at home. There's never a moment when you're alone. There's always something to do, and it's always something pleasant. Well, not always. Can you peel this? I have to go ask Ignis something. Of course. When you take the knife and the fruit in your hand, you realize that perhaps not only is the color of your skin changing, but also the mobility of your fingers. You find it hard to coordinate and apply pressure, but you can still do it. You're about to finish peeling when Unum appears behind you, touching your shoulders. You do it better than I do. Guy! That's enough to distract you, causing you to cut the palm of your hand with a knife. The cut is deep, and blood flows out in concerning amounts. Then everything descends to chaos. You're thankful that Unum didn't rip your hand off in one bite. Let's be honest, you know that what he really wanted to do at that moment was to eat you whole, from head to toe. By the fourth day, little by little, you start opening up to each of Unum's wives. And like the redhead, they're eager to learn more about humans. Thanks to them, you discover that both babies need to be together. They are binary stars, which means they are permanently linked by a tail in an endless dance, Ignis once said. Although there's great concern on the girl's face when they talk about it, every time you ask them why, they change the subject. On the fifth day, you discover their original names, and if you focus your gaze on the children, you can see a tail. Sirius, that is the name they both share. Eliana explained that to you, that this is because they were both born at the same time. But you shouldn't worry because it will only be a name that no one will use after both gods choose their own names. You can't spend too much time with them in one room because their presence burns your skin and prevents you from breathing normally. At least now you can carry them for a short while, and you can't help but think they're cute. They both resemble Unum. They don't physically resemble you at all, and when you mention this to Unum, he just laughs. You vividly remember the words that came from the sun god at that moment. They both share a heart and an essence similar to yours. And that is 1,000 times better than if they had an appearance similar to mine. Why? Because now I can feel your heart, accompanied by 2 more melodies. They are different, but theirs come from yours, and together they create the most beautiful symphony I've ever heard. You still can't believe that Unum said that to you. Every time you remember it, you feel your cheeks warm up. On the 7th day, a Sunday, Septim comes to see your babies. He looks at them just for a second and then turns his gaze to you. Your hands. It's nothing. I'll find a solution for that. Without explanation, he leaves. Now that Septim mentioned it, Unum says as he approaches to inspect your hands. Your hands and arms have changed over time. What's wrong with them? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Say nothing and hug him. I don't know. Don't worry. Septum always keeps his words. Always. Hey! Yeah? I've been watching Sirius sleep, and I think they can dream. They move and make gestures while they sleep. Just imagine what they dream about. Thank you so much for giving me this change. You're truly the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Unum starts to move closer to wrap you in his arms. He's so tall, and his build is so massive that you can't help but feel dwarfed in comparison. His embrace is warm, yet the thought that he could rip a piece of your skin off with his teeth at any moment refuses to leave your mind. I really like having you here. I love your warmth, your scent, your heartbeat, the fact that you're mortal and ever-changing. Unum loosens his grip slightly to take one of your hands, and he inspects it while tracing the scab that has formed on you with his thumb. And how adaptable you are. Triple dots. Whoa! Hey! Without warning, he takes your hand in his mouth and licks it. Your heart is racing, though you're not sure if it's from fear or something else. I'm pretty sure it's that something else. His face draws dangerously close to yours. But you also make me want to devour you. Remember that time you cut yourself peeling the fruit with a knife? It was terrible. If I didn't like you so much, I probably would have gutted you right then. What kind of comment is that? And why does he say it like it's a compliment? Don't worry. He'll take care of you. Without further explanation than a smile, Unum presses a kiss to your lips. Days pass, and you find it hard to believe how quickly the children grows. You've gotten used to calling them children instead of their original names. Now that they can walk, you spend most of your day in the garden with them, since it's too dangerous to be indoors with them for too long. The energy they release is very unstable and dangerous for a body like yours. They're adorable. It's adorable to see them playing and interacting with each other or with the girls. Yet there's something that's been worrying you for a while now. Something that neither Unum nor the girls have shown any interest in explaining or discussing. So you assume it's normal, but it still worries you. And the more they grow, the more they tend to stick together, their tails entwined. They can spend entire days clinging to each other's tails. Ask Unum. You tell the children you'll be in for a second and that you'll be right back. You search for Unum in the temple hallways, and you find him in the kitchen with Solaris, who is advising him on how to improve his latest meal. Out of curiosity, you pause to listen to part of their conversation. You need to improve your singing, my son. If you sing off-key, it might even affect the taste. His voice wavers between laughter and tenderness, yet he can't help but let out a small chuckle at the end. Are you telling me I sing badly? Maybe. And that's all it takes for Solaris to burst out with the big laugh he's been holding back. Lion, do you think I do the chants badly? You jump a little. You can't believe how Unum detected you. It's not that you do them badly, it's just that you're off-key. Avoid the answer and ask about the children. Answer in favor of Unum and ask about the children. Answer against Unum and ask about the children. You know what? He's sweet. I'll answer in favor of Unum. No, Unum sings well. Solaris laughs again, even louder, and between laughs says, There is no need to lie just to get along. Can I ask something? It's about the children. That alone is enough to get both of their attention back to you, and you don't need a verbal response, as they simply look at you, waiting for your question. Is it normal for them to have their tails intertwined all the time? It's something binary stars do. Solaris knows more about it. We don't have tails, but according to what Due has told us when we accompanied her to the birth of binary stars, the union of both tails is their way of maintaining their gravitational balance. So it also works as a method of communication between the two stars. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, it's totally normal. You spend the rest of the day resting with the girls while Unum takes care of the children. You're no longer afraid to leave them with him, as Unum has proven to be a very good caretaker, incredibly against all odds. Sunday arrives once again, and Septum appears once again. You don't like that you can't be present during the children's growth checkup, but Unum can, so you don't worry more than necessary, deciding to wait outside the room. About 30 minutes pass, and they still hadn't come out. It's nothing to worry about. After an hour passes, the girls arrive to keep you company. They say nothing, which makes you start to break into cold sweat. Why are they here? Why do they look so tense? What if they don't pass a checkup? Be quiet. Don't even think about it. I'm sorry. What will happen if they don't pass the checkup? You're about to panic and scream to ask what they mean when the door to the room opens. The two children come out and run towards you laughing, as if celebrating something you don't know about. Septim walks out with both arms behind his back, with Unum following behind him. They have their names now. All present, Unum, Alnitak, Mintaka, and Alnilam must refer to them by these new names from now on. It is strictly forbidden to call them by their original names. An inexplicable pressure runs through your body. From the tension on Unum's face, you know you're not the only one who felt it. Serious? You may introduce yourselves. My name is Nor, and I'm called Shams. Pleased, Septim bids farewell in a monotonous and distant voice, though his movements and expression maintains the elegance characteristic of his being. Why is he the only one allowed to refer to them by their imposed names? And Unum isn't allowed to. Hey, respect it. They chose their names. Like there ain't nothing wrong with that. You fear the reason behind such an order, but for now, you can do nothing. Can we go to the garden to play? Your attention shifts to the children, who look at you pleadingly, their tails intertwined. You gotta eat first. The response you get is a chorus of childish tantrums, but they accept, realizing they won't gain anything from it. Life here's not so bad. That's the end of Act 2! So there are two bad endings as far as I can see. Not a lot of them actually do feature an alternative CG. So I'm not gonna put my hands on the baby! You don't put your hand down. You don't plan to burn yourself. Let Unum do it. It's your last thought before hearing a rumble, like an explosion. Bad end! Explosion! And the other bad end we can get is just by trying to escape, so we're just gonna do just that. It's now or never. No one's watching you. You're practically just a few meters away from your freedom. Who cares about the possible problems you might face out there for being human? What matters is that you're free. You really are an idiot. Something cuts off your head! Bad end. Meters from your freedom. God freaking damn it. So that was Act 2 of Unum's Route. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And I am really enjoying Unum's Route. It is so adorable. And having Unum be our wife, not husband, he is wife. Unum is wife. It's just so adorable. And having the kids is just, I am not prepared for the teenage years. Oh, God. Anyway, hey, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.